There are tons of idols in the industry and more are debuting every day. Yet, there's not really anyone who comes even close to the it factor that IVE Wonyoung has. Being an idol from an incredibly young age has shaped her to be considered the perfect K-pop idol, but what exactly is Wonyoung's secret to hold this title? Let's start with the obvious one, her impeccable visuals. Wonyoung looks like a literal doll and has the type of beauty that catches your attention immediately. However, being visually stunning is just part of being an idol. In fact, companies don't even think of debuting someone who's not attractive, but Wonyoung has a very recognizable and eye-catching face, even amongst the ones who don't necessarily like or care about her. It takes no time to remember her face and it just stays with you. It may be because she matches the Korean beauty standards to a T, but obviously there's a lot more to that. Her skin, hair, and lips create a noticeable but gorgeous contrast, and she looks healthy and attentive with her height and good posture. Wonyoung has a good fashion sense as well, wears makeup that only emphasizes her gorgeous features and carries herself with such elegance and grace that many could mistake her for a princess. Her calm and polished way of behaving adds a special charm to how the public perceives her. Whether she's performing or not, she has a natural allure that easily catches people's attention and makes her even more appealing and admired by those around her. She has a really elegant demeanor. The way she talks, moves, and presents herself is very refined. It gives a sense of luxury and sophistication that many other idols lack. It was also said that Wonyoung always looks like she knows that there are cameras on her. That's why you can never catch her slipping and she's always paying attention. But this is exactly one of the reasons why she's the perfect idol. While this sounds like it could be tiring, it comes effortlessly to Wonyoung, who seems like the epitome of sophistication. But you'd be wrong to think that the only interesting or attractive thing about Wonyoung was her looks. As mentioned before, being attractive is basically a requirement when it comes to being an idol, so no matter how pretty they are, they need something else to stand out. For Wonyoung, one of the things that differentiate her from the other idols in Korea, it's her charm and charisma, especially on stage. She's energetic, always smiling, and gives the impression that she's enjoying herself, which makes the viewer enjoy the performance as well. Wonyoung also looks comfortable performing, like she's born to be on stage, and as someone watching her, you tend to believe that too. Her skills on controlling the stage surfaced pretty early. Actually, ever since she appeared as a contestant on Produce 48, she couldn't help but attract everyone's attention on stage. It didn't matter if she was performing on stage with 5 people or 20, your eyes would definitely follow her. Wonyoung appeared very cute and youthful, had the right facial expressions to fit the performances, and was very confident about everything she did. She danced with a lot of poise, and even though she might not have the precise technical skills of a main dancer, she manages to captivate attention exceptionally when performing on stage. Her exceptional charm and charisma on stage earned her nicknames like Born to be Center and One in 1000 Year Idol. She was also the youngest contestant in a center role, but instead of letting that get her down, she smoothly managed everything without major mishaps, establishing her reputation. Sure, there were differing opinions about whether she was the most talented contestant in the show or not, but she had proved to be an excellent performer despite her young age. There's a reason why Bae Yoon-jung, who was the dance trainer for Produce 48, said that she's the perfect center material. She's at the center of attention either way, so it didn't matter what position you put her on stage, and she knows that. She knows all eyes are on her, and she knows how to keep them on her, which makes her very mesmerizing to watch. All of this wouldn't have worked without Wonyoung's incredible work ethic and her discipline. She's undeniably pretty and a good performer, but where would she be without working hard? This was first noticed during Produce 48, as it was shown that Wonyoung was very dedicated and tireless about her job. She put in a lot of effort to match the skills of her older, much experienced peers, took criticism really well, and then applied to become a better artist. She's shown nothing but professionalism and maturity in her job, and while this is impressive for anyone who's in this hectic line of work, it's even more impressive for her. Wonyoung started her journey as an idol when she was only 13 and hasn't stopped to rest even for a second since then. Schedules, festivals, shows, promotions, photo shoots, events, emceeing, she has done it all. This has continued up to this day. She has received high praise from the director of the music video for I Am after she got injured on set. The director revealed in an interview that Wonyoung had to be sent to the emergency room as she had gotten an injury while dancing on set. They had 2 more scenes to shoot, but due to the accident, she had assumed that Wonyoung wouldn't be back to finish filming. Imagine her surprise when she showed up to set and managed to get everything done even though she had to actually get stitches for 2 days in a row. She said, "The choreography is so powerful already, and watching her pull it off after getting stitches, it made my heart ache. But while the cameras were rolling, she was so professional and didn't let it show at all." The director also added that Wonyoung had monitored her performance after the shoot was over and reshot everything that she wasn't happy with, which she really ended up admiring. This clearly showed that Wonyoung is satisfied only with perfect results and is open to pointing out her own mistakes if needed. Park Jin-young, the founder of JYP Entertainment, also said that when he had met Wonyoung, she made such a strong impression on him that he considered her the best idol he'd ever seen. Imagine getting this praise from the founder of one of the biggest K-pop companies. He said that he could notice that it was obvious that she enjoyed her life in the industry and is living it properly. He went on to say, maybe she could be having a hard time internally, but at least externally, she seems that way. I felt maybe this is what it means to be in full idol mode. To add to that, just a few weeks ago, there was a post on an online community expressing their surprise at Wonyoung's tight schedule. Just to remind you of how booked and busy she was, she hosted the 2023 Asia Artist Awards in the Philippines for 10 hours on December 14th. The following day, she rushed back to Korea to host for another 5 hours and even performed with her group IVE at the KBS Song Festival. After that, on December 16th, she participated in 2 fan sign events, followed by 2 more on the next day. Finally, on December 18th, she traveled to China for yet another fan sign. Not to mention that she had to practice for year-end award shows and take long flights in between these schedules. The normal person would have collapsed after 5 hours, but looking at Wonyoung, you couldn't even tell that she was probably exhausted. She appeared as charming as always, standing tall in her high heels, laughing and smiling and making light conversation with everyone. Her eyes were even sparkling all throughout her schedules. Of course, we don't condone the fact that she's going through this in the first place. No person should have to go through this without having a chance to rest, especially considering how young she is. It's also disturbing that she was let to work when she was injured to the point of getting stitches. But we can't help but admire just how hard she works for her career. Her music, performing, gigs, ambassadorships. You can't say she doesn't deserve all the success she has and more. However, Starship Entertainment should seriously let her rest thoroughly after the year is over. She has done more than enough. What people tend to forget about Wonyoung as well is that she's incredibly smart. She went to an English-speaking school, which is impressive for someone who hasn't lived abroad and had tons of extracurricular activities, which included playing instruments, sports, and math. In Problematic Men, Wonyoung had revealed that she had won awards at her school's math contest 3 times. It was said that she was one of the smartest students at her school, and honestly, we can't say we're surprised in the slightest. She even mentioned that she ended up getting a nosebleed because she was so busy with studying and other activities. Unfortunately, due to her busy schedule, she had to drop out of middle school and get homeschooled. However, her intelligence shows whenever she speaks. Even when she was in Produce 48, you wouldn't get the impression that she was a mere teenager by the way she behaved and talked. She wasn't nervous, jittery, and she didn't appear immature, which would be normal for someone her age. Back then, Wonyoung always seemed, and still does to this day, calm and collected, ready for anything that gets thrown her way. Even though her education had to come to a halt due to her idol schedules, it's very obvious how intelligent and mature she is, and it's great to see that in addition to her talent and beauty. Another thing that should be praised about Wonyoung is her relationship with fans and the boundaries she has set with everyone. While she's sweet to every fan she meets, she has kept her distance. She doesn't play into parasocial relationships and has done a great job of keeping her private life separate from her job. Considering that haters thrive on the personal details that idols share and use them to hate on them, it makes them look ridiculous to come for Wonyoung when she's not giving them enough material to work with. Plus, the mysterious aura she gives off greatly adds to her allure and makes her even more interesting. It's pretty safe to say that she's the perfect idol by all definitions, and no one came even close to her status yet. Share your thoughts in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.